Not much of a game at all in the AFC North. Remember, last year the Bengals could not beat the Ravens, could not beat the Steelers. You would think maybe on opening night they would go in there and do something, but they did not.
To win? Oh, wait, I did pick Cincinnati to win.
Exactly.
I'm sorry,
Is that what you did? Well, there you have them honoring Art Modell before with the sticker on their helmet.
It was real simple. From the start, Andrew, it was the Joe Flacco show. Listen, there we go. We see Torrey Smith, big throw down the field. We all wanted to see the growth out of this young quarterback. Obviously, we saw it tonight.
That was 52 yards to Torrey Smith. Then, after a 3-0 lead with the Justin Tucker field goal, little Smith around end for 13 yards. You like that?
I like the misdirection. Get them going one way, take them the other.
You know, they really pulled everything out of their bag of tricks here.
Ray Rice, I like the catch. John Gruden said it wouldn't show up on the stat sheet. Joe Flacco, little behind him. But this is what you paid the man for.
And that picks up a first down. Exactly. Little guy gets the first down there. 3 plays later, this drive is still going. This drive's eating up clock. 3-0 already.
Give it to him, Leach.
Did he get touched for the 7-yard touchdown, guys?
No. You see big 44, someone just shied away from contact.
How big those muscles are, you think they want to touch him?
No, I wouldn't. The guy's my height. The guy's like 900 pounds and my height, 10-0. Second quarter, Jacoby Jones did not do much in the preseason, but he comes alive here, the former Raider, for 25. That gets it down to the 40.
I'll tell you what, if Joe Flacco spins that ball like this throughout the season, he can say he's one of the premier quarterbacks in the NFL.
There's been a Terrence Newman sighting.
Or if Terrence Newman would have timed that a little bit better, but, you know.
Hey, man.
2 plays later.
Call like I see it.
Once again, what if?
Now on the 34. This is pretty, isn't it?
Oh, what
Anquan Bolden with a 34-yard touchdown behind Taylor Mays.
Yeah,
it's all pretty, but the safety.
The safety play was horrible. We're going to talk about that later, but. You know, Anquan Bolden, not a deep threat.
Horrible call.
You really can't see it.
That ball came out, Darren.
It was a bad view. You couldn't tell. Give him the touchdown.
I think the ball was moving. 17-3.
See, I mean, this just isn't smart. Come on, safety. Taylor Mays. You see the ball. If you have any awareness, you see the ball flying by your head and it's not going to get caught. Don't launch yourself into a defender because it's not going to only cost your team. It's going to cost your pockets.
But you said if you have any awareness, maybe that's the issue.
That is the issue.
Taylor Mays flagged for 15 of the hit there on Ed Dixon. He's likely going to be fined as well. Ravens eventually punted in. What a night, Andrew Hawkins. Remember Artrell Hawkins? This is his little brother.
They about the same size.
Yes, sir.
Right. Artrell's now doing radio.
With that deep voice he has.
Yeah, that's 27 yards. And then 10 plays later, Andy Dalton can't cash in. Ed Reed knocks it away. This is inside of a minute remaining. So it's 4th and 1. What do you do here, 4th and 1, Marvin?
You go for it.
Yeah, you go for it. Ben Jarvis, Green, Ellis.
I would like to see more of Ben Jarvis, Green, Ellis. You know, they were effective running the football, and they tried to put the game in a young quarterback's hand against a veteran defense. I just did not see the sensibility in doing that.
Got away from him, though.
Well,
yeah,
you know what?
It did, but you got to stick to your game plan.
Touchdown there. This made it a game going into the third quarter. Final score doesn't make it look like a game, but there it did. Here's Andy Dalton on the quarterback draw. That's a 3rd and goal on the 11th play of a drive. He doesn't get it. Mike Nugent ticks the field goal. So now it's 17-13. Heath, you love the fullback
there. That's a highlight of Vonta Leach, Ray Maluga coming up in there, little speed draw.
You can tell who's a fullback. Point out a fullback block.
Hey, they had him highlighted on the screen. You didn't see it?
Hey, Vontae Leach is number 45 on our top 100, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Dennis Pitta, jump ball for the touchdown.
Or lower. Should be closer to number 1 is what it should be.
That's just Flacco having trust in his receiver. Great play. Toss and catch by Flacco.
All right, couple of possessions later. Can Andy Dalton bring them back?
Not
when Ed Reed is in the building.
Man, you do not want to throw it in that guy's area, best believe. And I'm telling y'all keep throwing it to Ed. He's about to catch me.
We don't want him to catch Derek.
You keep throwing it in his direction.
He has caught you most return yardage ever on
picks. But we're talking about picks.
Okay, well, with this
getting
pick
close.
6,
he's getting close.
Passed Rod Woodson, and you're third now
I am third.
for most return yardage ever,
Darren.
I
don't have that record. We're talking about interceptions, and he's getting close.
Right.
Stop throwing it in the Ed Reed's direction, please.
Right. Well, Ed Reed would go down the tunnel. He would eventually return. They'd look at his hamstring. Now it's the 4th quarter. Again, still a game, kind of. 34-13.
Nice play, Ray Lewis.
Yeah, it was. Ray Lewis, fumble. Ladarius Webb recovers at the 28.
Yeah.
And then Haloti Ngata came down on the shoulder there. Dalton kind of walks up the field with an ugly look on his face.
Who made the block?
Vonta.
My man, Vonta.
I think it's more about the number 44 than, maybe not.
Ray Rice, 1-yard touchdown for the capper. Mighty Mouse, mighty. At the end, Ravens had a field goal and win 44-13. You know, for everyone saying that this is the Steelers division, or the Ravens were 12-4 last year and this close to winning the AFC Championship. They lost at the very, very end to the Patriots.
Bengals and the Browns. Brandon Weeden saying, I will not throw 4 picks today. And Andy Dalton saying, it's not Ray Lewis looking across from me. First quarter, no score, 4th and 13. Adam Jones on the punt return makes 7 players miss, including Inky, Binky, Blinky, and Clyde. There he goes, into the end zone. Bengals lead at 7-0. Oh, let everybody know. Go down the fire escape. Go down the fire post. There you go. Very nice. Second quarter, Bengals up 7-3. Andy Dalton looking for A.J. Green. And my best John Facenda looking for an old friend in A.J. Green, who goes in 10 yards for the touchdown. 14-3 Bengals. Dalton 4 out of 4 for 50 yards. Browns possession, 1st and 10, 32-yard line. There goes Trent Richardson. This is why they drafted him so early. 32 yards in the score. Cleveland now down just 14-10. Next Browns possession, Bengals lead 17-10. Brandon Weeden throws to Chris Obanaya. Nothing but green grass in front of him. Coughs it up. Terrence Newman causes the fumble. Michael Johnson in his gold shoes recovers. Bengals, though, would not be able to capitalize on the turnover. They would punt. Third quarter now, Bengals up 17-10. First possession, Andy Dalton looking deep, and when you look deep, you look for Brandon Tate. Along the right sideline, one-on-one coverage, 44-yard touchdown. Play would be reviewed. It would stand up. Bengals lead it 24-10. 2 possessions later, same score, 3rd and 9. Bengals ball their own 35. Dalton pass for A.J. Green, tipped by Demetri Patterson, intercepted by DeQuell Jackson. Browns take over on their own 47. Uh-oh. Could this be a big Browns comeback? 5 plays later, Brandon Weeden with a short pass to Trent Richardson. Here, you take it, Trent. Go. It looks like a long touchdown pass in my stat column. Look at him make 4 defenders miss. This is why he's a franchise player. 145 yards and 2 touchdowns for Trent Richardson. Watch this again. And 1 guy misses, and 2, and 3, and 4. Fourth quarter now, 24-17 Bengals. Bengals ball, 3rd and 10 on the 50. Andy Dalton looking for Andrew Hawkins. Who? Andrew Hawkins had a nice game week 1 against the Ravens. Even a bigger play here. Look at him, catches the pass on a broken play, runs around Browns defenders who can't stay up. 50 yards later, he is in the end zone. Bengals extend their lead 31-17. Dalton would finish with 318 and 3 touchdowns. Next Browns possession, 8th play of the drive. Brandon Weeden looking for Greg Little. There's Greg Little, who has been missing for the first week plus here. Bengals now lead at 31-24. Browns now down 34-27, 20 seconds left. Here comes the onside kick. Shh, it's like a big putt in golf. And A.J. Green recovers. Bengals win it by the final of 34-27. They even their record at 1-1. And for the Browns, hey, at least you know Trent Richardson is a stud.
RG3 making his home debut against the Cincinnati Bengals, both checking in at 1-1. First quarter, first play from scrimmage, Wildcat already. Wow. Mohamed Sanu, the rookie out of Rutgers, is in the backfield, and look at this P that he throws.
All right, there to A.J. Green.
Caught you slipping.
Now that's what a Wildcat works.
That's what I'm thinking. How can you work the Wildcat without the passing?
It was a better throw than this one by Andy Dalton. Picked off by Rob Jackson, who, of course, subbing for the injured Brian Arakpo. Second quarter.
Trips me out about the Wildcat. The corners ain't going up there to tackle no way.
RG3 getting crushed all day, stripped by Carlos Dunlap, who also recovers it. Get on that thing, led to a Benjarvis Green-Ellis touchdown and a 24-7 Bengals lead. However, the Skips will come back down just 7. Griffin
talk for real,
getting him out of the pocket and hitting Santa. Panama.
Yeah, this is a good game between some young quarterbacks, Griffin and Dalton. And he went back and forth with this. And that was a great rollout with Griffin hitting that guy from the U, Santana Moore.
He threw for 221 on the day. He scored 17 unanswered points. Fourth
I told
quarter.
my dude here.
Andy Dalton. Who's this? Who's this?
Andrew Hawkins. I told him when I called him, I said, I'm going to give you much love, Hawk. Now, I'm going to tell you this, too, Dion and Marshall. I'm starting to look at that A.J. Green and Hawkins combination. That might be one of those great duos in this league.
You can tell me, too, Mike. I'm here, too. RG3 into the end zone for the third time in his career. He ran for 85 yards as well. They're back within 7. 3.5 to go. Onside kick. And who's got it? Who's got it? It's done. It's done. Well, it doesn't
go 10 yards.
Yeah, it doesn't matter because now Paul is called for illegal touching. Now, the Redskins don't have a timeout, so they can't challenge it. Now, of course, in the Niners game, we learned that really doesn't matter in this league anyway. But RG3 looking downfield.
Do what you do. You down with RG3?
And get out of bounds, man.
Yeah,
Get out of bounds.
Terrence Newman, what are you doing, man?
That was crazy, man.
That's just
See, I don't even understand that.
Terrence Newman.
How did he get that high in the air?
Terrence didn't hit anybody.
Yeah.
In Dallas, man.
So,
Why you doing it?
now, you know what? Carlos Dunlap's not going to get him, but Geno Atkins cleans up the mess.
Look
6
out.
sacks for the Bengals on the day.
That could have been a disaster there, bro.
Now, after a false start and then an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, it's called a dead ball foul, it's now like third in a Washington suburb.
45.
Watch how far he throws this ball, guys. He's on the, 35-yard line. Watch where the ball lands. Somebody do the math.
Yeah. I'll do the math. They're 1 and 2.
Landed at the 5.
There's your math for you. But it was a fun game to watch.
Late game finals, Cincinnati and Jacksonville. From Jacksonville, that's Ed Hockley. It's a good sign.
Biceps, curls,
Officials are back. Second quarter, Jaguars ball down 3-0. First and goal, Blaine Gabbert. Play action, Mercedes Lewis back of the end zone. Touchdown, Jags.
Pretty, huh?
It is. Okay, Blaine. Way to start.
Well, then the weather gets bad. You see, it's nice and sunny. It's a warm, very enjoyable day in Jacksonville. It doesn't stay that way.
All right, Bengals fake the punt. Cedric Pearman, 48 yards.
A little trickery.
Down to the Jaguars, 18-yard
Obviously
line.
something they saw on film during the week.
Yes.
4 plays later, it was second and goal for Marvin Lewis. Andy Dalton's got a little play action of his own, rolling to his left.
You know, I really like
Chris
Andy.
Presley touchdown.
Yeah, I really like Andy Dalton. You know, a kid that had a great rookie season, now is bouncing back and having an even better sophomore season. But it helps when you have a stellar receiver in A.J. Green.
Bengals up 17-10. There is A.J. Green. Touch pass.
AJ with 117 yards receiving. Big play.
Yeah, he is.
Big play waiting to happen.
6 catches for those Bucks 17. 24-10 Cincinnati. 4 Jaguars possessions later. Blaine Gabbert. Geno Atkins.
How about that? 6 sacks of Gabbert today. The pass rush just too much.
Geno Atkins had 5 sacks on his own.
Unbelievable. We had one other 5 sacks.
Charles Johnson had 5 sacks in the
Cincinnati, top of the AFC
Carolina
North.
game. Cincinnati sitting there at 3-1. That's 3 victories in a row after the tough open to the season against Baltimore.
Dolphins and the Bengals, as Jeff Healy said in Roadhouse, the man's name is Dalton. Ryan Tannehill finally eclipsing his wife's fame by throwing for 431 last week. 1 yard shy of Cam Newton's passing record. First quarter, Dolphins trailing 3-zip. Javorsky Lane. I love Javorsky Lane because he's built like me, but he fumbles on the goal line or in the red zone, recovered by Terrence Newman. Ensuing Bengals possession, still leading 3-0. 4th and 2. Dalton connects with Jermaine Gresham for 20 yards. Bengals first down. They would settle for a field goal 6 plays later. Second quarter now, Dolphins still down 6-zip. 9th play of their drive, Daniel Thomas goes off right tackle for a 1 yard touchdown. The Dolphins take a 7-6 lead. Those are fantasy points from Reggie Bush I did not get because Daniel Thomas got in the end zone. Third quarter, Bengals trailing 7-6. 3rd and 4 on their own 42-yard line. Dalton looking for Andrew Hawkins. Mr. Excitement Andrew Hawkins, except when you get picked off the line of scrimmage by Randy Starks. Dolphins take over at the Bengals' 36-yard line. Don't throw many interceptions to defensive linemen. So Dolphins have the ball, 4th play of the drive. This is Reggie Bush, who dances, goes left, and gets into the end zone for a 13-yard touchdown. Yes, Reggie Bush with the facial. That's how Marv would have said it. Ensuing Bengals possession, trailing 17-6, Ben Jarvis Green Ellis off left tackle. He gets stuffed by Rashad Jones and Randy Starks. He loses 2 yards. Dolphins showing why they have the best run defense in the National Football League. So the Dolphins get the ball back. Tannehill looking for Brian Hartline. Just a tad short of 253 on the day, but still, this is a big one for 30 yards. Dolphins would try a 53-yard field goal 4 plays later, but it would be no good. Fourth quarter, Bengals get the ball back. First and goal from the Dolphins, 2. Andy Dalton looking for A.J. Green, and he's got him. Yes, A.J. Green with the teardrop. Bengals trail 17-13. Now there's a $1:30 left in the game. Bengals still trailing 17-13. No timeouts left. Dalton looking for Andrew Hawkins. And it's picked off by Rashad Jones at the 50. The Dolphins win at 17-13. Not exactly what Andy Dalton had in mind.
Let's go to the AFC North and check out the Browns and the Bengals. Andy Dalton taking on Brandon Weeden. He would like to play against the Cincinnati Bengals every week.
I would say so. His two best games by far against the Cincinnati Bengals, and this is rookie year in the NFL.
However, this is not a great start.
No.
Tipped by Geno Atkins, picked up by Michael Johnson.
Geno Atkins has quietly been an outstanding player this year.
Brandon's birthday today, by the way.
Who is older? 40. Here is Cook.
He's considerably younger.
Yes.
Oh, Andy Dalton to Jermaine Gresham, a young, talented tight end. Would you like the stiff arm there? 55-yard score.
I taught that safety better than that. Usama Young was with me in New Orleans. Better job tackling.
Taught him not to get stiff arms?
Just bringing the guy down. Get him down.
He wasn't listening. No. Third down and 8. Okay, this is where it gets good for Brandon Weeden. Josh Gordon a little bit open, making him work for it there.
Darren, tell me, what happened there?
And the linebacker getting beat by the slot receiver. No safety help.
Well, shame on the defensive coordinator for putting a linebacker on the receiver.
Don't do it.
Game tied at 7. Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis, right up the middle, trying to pound it in there, makes it down to the 7.
It's been a rough go for the Browns defense prior to this game. They ranked 28th overall in yards allowed, 25th in scoring defense.
If you have that much time, who are you looking for, Darren?
A.J. Green, early and often.
14-7, Green's 5th touchdown reception this year.
Oh, man. Breakout second year if you can have one after a tremendous first year. A.J. Green.
Third quarter, next Bengals possession. This is 3rd down and 7. Here comes the blitz. There goes Andy Dalton looking for A.J. Green. Can't hold on. And another first-round pick. Joe Hayden comes up with the pick.
Yeah, I know that Cleveland is happy to have Joe Hayden back. One of their prime-time defenders. The cornerback position, getting his hands on the football. Great play.
Phil Dawson, 38-yard field goal. Bengals on top 14-13. Montario Hardesty.
Just a great effort. Body control. Knew he was going to be stopped if he didn't do that little midair horizontal pirouette.
Is that what?
That's what it was. It was the Russian judge gave him a 10.
Look at that sign for Brandon Weeden. Plenty of time to find Jordan Cameron, 23 yards down to the 3.
I mean, regardless of your level of accomplishment at quarterback, if you've got time to throw the football, all of these guys have the ability to do good things.
He doesn't have as many tight ends as Matt Schaub has, but there's another Brown side end there, Benjamin Watson, 3-yard score.
Yeah, Benjamin Watson from New England. He knows how to get open, knows how to catch the football.
Browns now up 10. Dalton looking for A.J. Green again. Picked off by Sheldon Brown, pick 6.
That is great awareness, route recognition. Sheldon Brown tricking the young quarterback, throwing his ball. Great anticipation by Sheldon Brown.
I don't even have to say it because everybody knows, but Andy Dalton looking for
A.J.
Green. Has a step, has the ball, and has 6 more.
And what A.J. Green does there is just phenomenal. Body control, uses his arm just to create a little bit of space. Ends up with 6.
Andy Dalton sacks.
Can't hold on to the football that long.
Ouch.
Billy Wynn, rookie out of Boise State.
Oh, boy.
What were you telling me, Paul? There are 6 Boise State players in the NFL from last year's team?
Defense.
That's amazing.
That is.
4 drafted and 2 undrafted. Brandon Weeden, 29th birthday, Tom, 29.
29, my bad.
Not 39.
Brandon, happy birthday. And again, as you mentioned, if he could play against the Bengals each and every Sunday, that Browns team would be in business.
The Sunday night game starting off with Ben Roethlisberger all pumped up, little headbutts firing up the guys. Steelers-Bengals, Mike Wallace on 3rd down from the Bengals, 24. The pass is dropped.
Man, Mike Wallace had just a few drops today. Maybe I shouldn't say just a few drops. He had a few drops.
Steelers settle for a field goal on the opening drive, lead 3-0. Trailing 7-3 now in the second. Steelers.
He wasn't the only one.
Antonio Brown. Baron Batch, wide open, rather. Yeah, and drops it.
That was a great pass by Antonio, by the way.
1st and 10 for the Bengals from the Bengals 21, Roethlisberger to Heath Miller, intercepted by Chris Crocker.
Good catch by Crocker.
Next Steelers drive, Roethlisberger to pass. He's sacked by Devin Still, and Robert gathers and fumbles, recovered by Wallace. Steelers at the 8-yard line.
they don't have the defense to overcome these type of mistakes anymore. Ben has to take care of the football.
Well, the same thing that makes him great also hurts him.
Andy Dalton there between Ike Taylor and Ryan Clark to A.J. Green for the 8-yard touchdown puts the Bengals up 14-3.
But that's the only pass Andy Dalton and A.J. Green hooked up all day on.
All right, so next Steelers drive, 3rd and 5 from the Bengals, 29. Roethlisberger deep. And he drops
This ball
it.
was deflected. Look at it. See it was deflected. Did you see the
Where did it hit him, though?
Leanne Hall
In the
did get his
chest.
hands up at the last minute to deflect that, in all fairness. Ensuing Bengals drive, Andy Dalton.
That was a great play.
Yeah, it hit him in the chest,
It
too.
was a deflection when he hit, yep.
Yeah,
That's a lineman, man.
Lamar Woodley coming up with the interception. Steelers take over on the Bengals,
Called a deflected
29.
pass. Off the helmet.
5 plays later for the Steelers, 1st and goal from the 9. Roethlisberger,
That's why I
a
like
rocket up the middle to Heath Miller for the 9-yard touchdown, makes it 14-12. Ben went for the 2-point conversion, ties the game
Big
at
Heath.
14 in third quarter. Tied game at 17. Roethlisberger throws to Emmanuel Sanders, who does the rest. 31-yard gain to the Bengals 14. Roethlisberger finishes 27-37 for 278 yards and a touchdown.
Another occasion with Big Ben. Yeah, he a cousin. With being held
You
on
guys
to the
look
ball
alike.
and made it successful. He does look alike.
Fourth quarter, 2nd and 7. Chris Rainey runs up the middle for the 11-yard touchdown, puts the Steelers up 24-17 for the win.
Bengals playing host to the Broncos. Andy Dalton against Peyton Manning. Andy Dalton 6 picks in his last 3 games.
What's up with that?
Peyton Manning 7-0 in his career against the Bengals. We pick it up second quarter, game all tied at 3. Peyton Manning has found something he likes in Demaryius Thomas. He's got him open down the left side.
And it's pretty
And it's perfect. I mean, again, it doesn't have that Aaron Rodgers tightness on that spiral, but it is always delivered in the perfect spot.
When Peyton came into the league, there weren't, 6'3", 6'4" wide receivers that weighed 235 like Thomas. He's thinking, I like these new toys.
Absolutely.
The same year the Broncos drafted Demaryius Thomas in the first round, they also took Eric Decker. Picks up a block here and finds his way to the end zone.
Another big, fast guy.
8-play, 80-yard drive, 10-3.
I think they've found their rhythm. I mean, obviously, new faces in the huddle, Peyton knocking off some of the rust. Well, the rust is gone, and everyone is very familiar with each other inside that Bronco huddle.
And understanding.
Yes.
And that's what you're looking for.
That's a great point. They're now all on Peyton's page.
Absolutely.
When we show a kickoff return here, Heath, it's for one of 2 reasons.
Yes.
Fumble.
Big hit to fumble or a touchdown. Trendon Holiday, 105-yard return for a touch. The Broncos now leading by 14.
Sometime we ought to just show one just to dispute that myth.
Right.
Yeah, just return out to the
Return
26
tackle
yard
to
line.
22.
Yeah. Cincinnati next possession. Andy Dalton's got a talented young side end, and Jermaine Gresham. Nice job of buying extra time. And eventually finding an open Gresham, he finds his way to a 52-yard Bengal game.
This is the guy they need to get more involved. We talk about Hernandez, we talk about Gronkowski, we talk about Jimmy Graham. He was in that same draft class with all the monsters, too. Athletically, he should be on pace with the boys.
A.J. Green, 7 catches, 99 yards, and that touchdown.
6 straight games now, fellas, with an A.J. Green touchdown catch.
And beating Champ Bailey there.
Georgia on Georgia crime.
Go. A.J. Green, just under 100 yards with that 99. Back comes Peyton Manning. Play action, but intercepted.
Come on, Eric
Newman.
Decker. See, this is, listen, maybe I'm covering for the quarterbacks.
I think you just did.
Go ahead and do so.
But listen, this is where Decker, either become the DB and don't give it away, or just cut that route off more abrupt. Cross the face, always.
This one got to be on Peyton Manning.
That's Peyton's.
No, come on, make it.
I can't help you out on that one.
We would if we could.
Yeah. The wide receiver's got to be faster. That's
There
what I
you
can
go.
say.
Perfect.
2 third-quarter interceptions by Terrence Newman. Fourth quarter, a couple of plays later on 2nd and 4. Andy Dalton out of the shotgun looking for A.J. Green.
Yeah.
19-yard gain.
Give the
Gotta
Bengals.
make it interesting.
Bengals were in a hole, as you just saw. They were down, and they responded. They took these 2 Peyton Manning turnovers and made points out of them.
Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis, the leading rusher for the Bengals. His touchdown made it 20-17. Peyton Manning, Eric Decker, 30-yard gain.
Big and strong and fast.
Eric Decker and Demaryius Thomas combined for 176 receiving yards today. Not a bad afternoon.
And just like A.J. Green, Eric Decker had 99 yards receiving, and that's a touchdown to Joel Dreesen.
Dreesen had, 4 catches today, showed up big.
8 different Broncos caught passes from Peyton Manning today.
Typical
Broncos,
Peyton.
24-20. Dalton now looking for A.J. Green, and the other former Bulldog going to get that one. That's Champ Bailey.
That's again.
He got him back.
Bulldog on bulldog crime.
That's
there,
right.
Isn't it? That play's made because of a solid pass rush up front.
Yep.
So what's Denver going to do with it? They're going to give it to Peyton Manning, who finds Eric Decker. Outstanding touchdown catch.
Did we just give a simultaneous
Yes,
wow?
we did. I think Peyton was trying to throw the back shoulder fade, but he threw it to the front shoulder of the cornerback, and Derek Decker just made a great catch.
It was pretty.
Peyton Manning, 27 out of 35, 3 touchdowns, had a couple of picks. Continues to.
Decker, want me to punch holes in Peyton Manning today?
Yes, do it, Tom.
I mean, for the first time in 5 weeks, he threw for less than 300 yards. For the first time in forever, he threw not 1 interception, but 2 interceptions. He's just average.
Pathetic.
First highlight of the day, the Giants at the Bengals. Andy Dalton, the Bengals looking to end an 0-4 skid. That's not bad.
14 people were on hand to watch it.
Watch his eyes pop out of his head right about there because A.J. Green is that wide open.
What is Corey Webster doing? I know it's a broken coverage, but it looks like.
But how is the best receiver left open?
I mean,
he's the guy who should have double covered. I mean, what is he doing?
And then you just stop. This is kind of in a nutshell how the Giants played for 60 minutes on both sides of the football.
Exactly.
Next Giants possession, special teams letting them down. Adam Pac-Man Jones doesn't fumble. Not going to get lit up, so you know what's coming. Big return. Nice cut. Little spin move, and there he goes.
Mega tackle.
61 yards, setting up 1st and 10 at the Giant 11-yard line.
When you're in a funk, these types of things happen to you. And the Giants have been in a funk since the second half of that Steelers game.
Just came out, did not look focused at all.
They did not in any facet of the game.
Andy Dalton's first touchdown pass was to a wide-open A.J. Green. He really fit that one in there to Andrew Hawkins, who also made an excellent catch.
They did a little one-handed catch. The Cincinnati Bengals made plays today, and the Giants did not. Period. End of story.
Eli Manning, offensive coordinator.
What's Eli thinking right there?
Sunday? Yeah. Game day?
What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong is what he's thinking.
He hasn't thrown a touchdown pass in 2 weeks. Finds Akeem Nicks there for 16 yards, setting up 1st and 10 at the Bengal 25. 4 plays later, 21 seconds left. Manning to Martellus Bennett. No.
Yeah. 1 foot out, 1 foot in.
Tough catch to make, but he's got to have better awareness of where he's at on the field.
Tom Coughlin excited about setting the field goal unit.
Yes, he is. Yeah, but Paul, you're going to see as these highlights continue, it's going to be Eli throwing the football. That's what happens when you get in a hole early on. You become one-dimensional.
Or when you see Giants running backs running the ball, you're going to see them fumble.
Holding, and eventually just flipping it to Pat Sims.
That usually doesn't work out well, guys. I mean, once in a blue moon, maybe, and Tom Coughlin's certainly not happy with that. Eli's in a rut. And I have every belief in the world that he's going to come out of this funk, but right now he's in a rut.
3rd down and 8. Nice job of going up and getting it by Jermaine Gresham. 10-yard Bengals score.
We talked about this kid a few weeks ago, Gresham.
Big dude,
He's a big kid, good athlete, more plays like that Bengals need from him.
Bengals up 24-6. Here comes the Giant offense, and Eli Manning in trouble. Another interception. That one picked off by Nate Clements.
Yeah, and this is an opportunistic Bengals secondary. And whenever that front four of the Bengals, I mean, they could be one of the best defensive line groups in all of the AFC once they get going and start to put that pressure on you.
Andy Dalton already with 3 touchdown passes. Go ahead and make it 4. Excellent catch by the rookie out of Rutgers, Mohamed Sanu.
Well, again, this is just you saw Gresham make a play. Now you see Sanu make a play. Defensively, you are seeing the front 4 of the Bengals make plays. You're seeing their secondary make plays. That was the key. And the Giants they didn't look like they were interested in playing 60 minutes of football today.
Bengals and the Chiefs with the holidays approaching. Matt Castle is your quarterback. The most giveaways in the NFL this season with 19. Meanwhile, Andy Dalton coming off a red-hot 4-touchdown week against the Giants. Let's take a look. 4th and 3 for the Bengals, trailing 3-0. And the direct snap to Cedric Pierman, who takes it 32 yards for the first down. Marvin Lewis says, yeah, I called that. We're good. We're all good. 4 plays later, it is 4th and 7 on the Chiefs' 36. The Bengals go for it again. The man's name is Dalton. He scrambles off the left end for an 11-yard gain. Bengals first down. Andy Dalton, not exactly what Romeo Crennel had in mind. Then he goes up top. A.J. Green, the 4-yard touchdown. His 9th straight game with a TD. One shy of the Bengals franchise record. Look at it again. Just goes up with one hand. There's a reason why he's been the best wide receiver in football this season. Bengals lead at 7-3. Second quarter still 7-3. Second and 10 on the Chiefs' 40-yard line. Matt Castle looks to hand off to Jamal Charles. Yay, he's not there. Instead, it's Castle, who runs into a circle, gets sacked by Carlos Dunlap. Castle's offensive struggles continue. It's still 7-3. First and 10 in the Bengals' 43. Dalton looking for A.J. Green up top. Got it for 40 more yards. 6 catches for 91 yards and the touchdown. That was A.J. Green's day. 3 plays later, it's third and goal on the 11. Dalton looking for Jermaine Gresham, who catches it, fights and bulls his way down for the touchdown. Replay assistant, though, would rule Gresham down at the 1. Didn't look like it, but it happened. Touchdown is overturned, so the next play is fourth and goal. Dalton keeps it himself, fakes everybody in the stadium out, goes in for the score. 3 fourth down conversions for the Bengals. They're now leading 14-3. Bengals next possession still leading 14-3. This is only second down, so it's okay, no pressure. Pearman now in at running back, breaks tackles for a 17-yard gain. He had 75 yards rushing. Ben Jarvis Green Ellis would score on a 1-yard touchdown plunge. 6 plays later, Bengals would take a 21-3 lead at the break. In the third quarter, Chiefs now trailing 21-6. Castle on the sidelines. It's Brady Quinn time. And he celebrates Notre Dame being number 1 by being sacked by Pac-Man Jones for a 6-yard loss. Next Chiefs possession, trailing 21-6. Chiefs second-string guard in its center. Russ Hochstein botches the snap to Quinn. He recovers, and pretty soon it's paper bag time for the Chiefs fans. Yep, put them on. Don't want anybody to know we're at the game. I cut the holes in. Yep, here we go. We're okay. Fourth quarter, third and 10 in the Chiefs' 14-yard line. Bengals still up 21-6. Here's Dalton looking for Mohamed Sanu out of Rutgers. He gets it for the 14-yard score. The Bengals lead at 28-6. Dalton, 230 and 2 touchdowns, and 28-6 is your final. At least Notre Dame is number 1, Brady Quinn. As far as Andy Dalton says, yeah. Look how good he's been the last couple of weeks. Raiders and the Bengals. The Bengals selected Andy Dalton when Carson Palmer retired. He's 14-12, made the Pro Bowl. Carson Palmer. Raiders are 7-13 since the trade to Cincinnati. I wonder who's got the better end of that deal so far. Third play of the game, no score. First and 10 in the Raiders' 35-yard line. Palmer welcomed back to Cincinnati by Geno Atkins, who sacks him for a loss of 7. Raiders will be forced to punt. It's Atkins' 9th sack of the season. Ensuing Bengals possession, there goes a law firm. Ben Jarvis Green Ellis, 49 yards off right guard for a touchdown. Play would be overturned after automatic booth review. Green Ellis' 48-yard run is the longest of his career, though he would punch it in 2 plays later. Bengals take a 7-0 lead. Next Bengals possession, Andy Dalton connects with A.J. Green for 44 yards. Green had 3 catches for 111. First time this season Green is held without a TD catch. 7 plays later, though, for the Cincinnati Bengals, it is first and goal on the Raiders 2. Dalton looks for Mohamed Sanu, who makes it look easy. Bengals take a 14-0 lead. Sanu just stretches out his hand, pulls it in, keeps both feet in bounds. Oh, could be a Rutgers week. They play for the Big East crown on Thursday. Second quarter, 2 Bengals possessions later, second and 8 on the Raiders' 36-yard line. It's Cedric Pearman starting to get some big run out of the backfield for the Bengals. Breaks tackles, takes it 31 yards all the way down to the Raiders' 5-yard line. Great run by Pearman. They would have first and goal at the 5. 3 plays later, it's third and goal. Raiders hoping to force a field goal. Dalton once again. Mohamed Sanu, second touchdown of the game. The rookie having a big day, 5 catches for 29 yards and 2 scores. 17 seconds left in the half. Bengals leading 21-0. Palmer looking for Marcel Reese. Right off his hands into Chris Crockers, who returns at 29 yards down to the Raiders' 48-yard line. Bengals would take a 55-yard field goal 2 plays later to take a 24-0 lead into halftime. Third quarter now, Raiders trailing 24-3. Carson Palmer making a Carson Palmer off his back foot throw, which he is prone to do, and the ball gets picked off. No, it's an interception. No, it's a touchdown. Denarius Moore from 20 yards away. They teach you that, kids. Don't throw off your back foot. Carson Palmer can do it. First play of the fourth quarter. Raiders next possession, second and 4 in the Bengals' 50-yard line. Palmer sacked by Manny Lawson and fumbles. Recovered by Ray Maualuga. Bengals frustrating their old quarterback all day long in Cincinnati. 2 plays later, second and 4 from the Raiders' 40. Law firm again, Green Ellis off left tackle, 39 yards down to the 1. Bengals would have to settle for a field goal. Green Ellis, 129 yards rushing on the day, the first career back-to-back 100-yard games for him. Bengals next possession, Bengals leading 27-10. Here's where some controversy comes in. Dalton connects with Mohamed Sanu, who catches it but fumbles. Recovered by the Raiders, but an inadvertent whistle blows the play dead. Could have been a touchdown, could have been a closer game. Raiders want a touchdown. Like, wait a minute, this happened to us in New England a few years ago. We didn't like it. But the referees blow the whistle early. It could have been a score, but it's not. It's wiped out. Bengals now replaying third down. There's a false start penalty. And Andy Dalton gets slammed to the ground. Tommy Kelly, Lamar Houston, the Raiders get ejected. Andrew Whitworth of the Bengals is ejected. It's like a baseball game. You out of here. You out. You out. Or the end of Slapshot when all the guys get thrown out of the game. Bengals, though, go on to win it by the final score of 34-10. There go the Raiders. Back to Oakland. Carson Palmer, a $146, a touchdown, and a pick in his return to Cincinnati.
What about the Bengals? They're looking for their fourth straight win.
Zim, defensive coordinator.
Andy Dalton playing pretty well. One of 3 players in NFL history to have 20-plus touchdown tosses in each of his first 2 seasons. Peyton and Dan Marino are the others. That one to Jermaine Gresham as he adds to the total. And has a 7-0 lead out in San Diego. Next drive, Dalton looking for A.J. Green, instead finding DeMario Williams. His second pick 6 this year. But what has happened to San Diego?
That's the one thing he didn't do much of in his rookie season.
And they can't get up.
You can't do that down the stretch if they're going to try to get that 6th playoff spot.
All right, Andy Dalton would make up for it. Fourth quarter, Bengals down 3 under 5 to go and driving. Dalton looking into the end zone, but I'll take it myself. Ooh. He's into the end zone.
Good awareness, good effort, good finish. You love it out of a young quarterback.
And good defense against North Turner's crew. Bengals forced a pair of turnovers in the last 4 minutes. This one by Reggie Nelson. And that'll finish it. Since he's won 4 in a row, Chargers have dropped 7 of 8. And a moment of silence was held in memory of Brown prior to the Cowboys game with the Bengals. Many players, including Jason Hatcher, understandably had a tough time getting focused. Really a big game, at least on the field, for the 6-6 Cowboys facing the Bengals, who had been playing very good football behind their leader, Andy Dalton. Here looking for A.J. Green, but it's Brandon Carr who has really come on as of late.
He jumped this route pretty good with A.J. Green. You know, Andy Dalton is going to try to get his main target, A.J. Green, the ball.
Next play, 1st and 10, Tony Romo. Talk about a guy who's been playing some good football over the last 5 weeks, hitting the VFF Jason Witten down near the goal line. It would lead to a Murray 1-yard touchdown run. Cowboys down 13-10 at the break. Scary scene here in the third quarter for Dallas. On 3rd and 1, Dalton hits Orson Charles for a gain of 17. But watch the first-round pick. Morris Claiborne kind of gets sandwiched in between Charles and his teammate Danny McCray. Originally, they brought the stretcher out.
You can't do that. You got to see what you hear to hit what you see. Or just make that the business decision. He's already on the sideline.
Well, you can see his jaws. Not
push him out. Praying for you, man.
2 plays later, 1st and 15. Dalton scrambling. Look at the Cowboys sideline. Who's on the field? It's the defensive coordinator, Rob Ryan. What are you doing out there, Marshall?
I have no idea what Rob was doing.
I know he's talking junk right now. I bet you that. He's a Ryan.
Rob's all Where's the flag?
There was one. Unsportsmanlike conduct. So now on 3rd and goal, Dalton to A.J. Green, who had his worst day as a pro.
It's a rare thing right here to see A.J. Green drop.
Michael, you put bad words on the man this morning.
I bold predicted.
Just 3 catches for 44 yards in this one. They had to settle for a field goal. Now 19-10 Cincinnati. Romo to Dez Bryant, who gets lit up by Reggie Nelson. Here comes the flag on a defenseless receiver.
Was a good hit. You keep reiterating that, and you're doing a great job as a host. But how does a guy that have on a full set of equipment defenseless? Tell me that.
I don't know. I'm just telling you what it is. As a host, I just apply the rules. That's all. But here comes Nelson, not a defenseless quarterback there. Romo was sacked 3 times. So now later in the 4th, boys down 9, under 7 to go. Romo to Dez Bryant.
It is, and I wanted to mention that this morning on NFL Game Day Morning. Do you understand the East would be decided by 88? It's either Dez Bryant with the Cowboys, Hakeem Nicks with the Giants, or Pierre Garçon with the Redskins.
Good thinking. Not to be egotistical either.
Yeah.
Then Dalton sacked by Anthony Spencer.
That was a quick, like,
They
quick
had
shot.
5 sacks on the day, so Cincinnati has to punt. 3rd and 5, Romo, who threw for 268 to his BFF, Jason Witten. We're moving the chains.
That was scary.
8 plays later, under 2 minutes to go, 3rd and 5. Who do you throw to? Nobody. That's DeMarco Murray slashing.
And this is the difference
Great
for the
play.
Dallas Cowboys. If this guy continues to play and run like this, Cowboys have a team.
You know what's about to happen.
Dan Bailey from 40 yards out, his 6th career game winner.
Yeah,
And for the Dallas Cowboys, a momentary lift for a team that is obviously hurting.
Eagles out of contention, as you know. Michael Vick out of the game. Nick Foles and company showing a lot of fight early, having to fight back, in fact, from an early deficit. That is Carlos Dunlap stripping the ball from Jeremy Maclin. The Bengals take possession at the 44 and punch it in a few plays later, up 7-0. Eagles 3 and out on their next drive appear to be a little confused getting set for the punt. Clay Harbor late getting on the field, then the guy next to him gets his butt kicked. Literally, Marvin McNutt pushed right into the punt. Daniel Herron recovers, and the Bengals turn that into a field goal. So it's 10-0 Cincinnati, but the tide turns in the second quarter, and it turns in a big way. Nick Foles finding Jeremy Maclin here wide open down the right sideline. He's got a lot of making up to do for that first quarter fumble. Remember, he picks up 46 yards here. And 2 plays later, Foles and Riley Cooper take it the rest of the way. This is Foles' 5th touchdown of the season. It cuts the Bengals lead to 3. And then the defense comes alive. Todd Bowles, the DC since mid-October, has gone 5 games now without a forced turnover. That is about to change in a big way. Here, boom, Brandon Graham with the forced fumble on the sack. Trent Cole recovers it. Eagles turn it into a field goal. Then, 2 Bengals possessions later, they do it again. Although this time it's Cullen Jenkins that gets to Dalton. Darryl Tapp that gets the ball. Once again, though, it results in a field goal. Eagles up 13-10 at the half.
Second half, Philly trying to drive, and Foles not good with the deep ball on Thursday night. This would not be a Hall pass. This is a Hall catch, as in Leon Hall. Foles was his first INT in his last 169 passes. It was the longest active streak. He completed just 16 of 33 tosses on this night, ensuing Bengals possession. Dalton, he completed less than 50% of his passes, was sacked 6 times, but he scores his 4th rushing touchdown with the emphatic spike afterward. Bengals up 17-13. Next, Eagles possession. As you take a look at this, he just gets one great move on Michael Kendricks, and that gives the Bengals the lead for good on this night. So the next Eagles possession, Bryce Brown. You're not going to be a running back in this league long if you keep fumbling it. He is tied for the most lost fumbles among all running backs this year with 4. That one gets recovered, and a touchdown by Wallace Gilberry. The Bengals forcing 5 turnovers on this night. The Eagles have turned it over a league high 34 times. Fourth quarter with the Bengals up a pair of touchdowns. On the short kick, it's, oh no, Cedric Thornton. And if you're wearing number 72, don't put your mitts on this. It's another turnover. Cincinnati scored 31 points on 5 Eagles turnovers. Here, Dalton to A.J. Green, his first touchdown in the last 4 games, and his league-leading 11th on the year. Bengals outscore the Eagles 24-zip in the second half. They win it 34-13. They now hold that 6th playoff berth in the AFC, at least for now, as they have now won 5 of their last 6 games overall.
Bengals and Steelers, Franco Harris in the house for the 40th anniversary of the Immaculate Reception. Andy Dalton, the Bengals, can clinch a playoff berth with a win. Ben Roethlisberger criticized the play calling last week. He wants more plays to Heath Miller. Let's see. Steelers ball, no score, 3rd and 4. Roethlisberger looking for Heath Miller, intercepted by Leon Hall. 17 yards into the end zone. Bengals lead 7-0. Second quarter, Steelers trail 10-7. No timeouts left. $1:18 to play. 1st and 10. Roethlisberger looking deep for Antonio Brown, who was well covered, but still somehow comes down with a circus catch. Okay, it's not going to get any easier than that. 60-yard touchdown. Steelers trail 10-7. Look at this. Adam Jones is frozen by Antonio Brown's move. Steelers down by 3 at the half. Third quarter, Bengals ball. Game is tied at 10, 2nd and 4 in their own 17. Second play of the drive, Andy Dalton back to pass, but Troy Polamalu, how many times have we seen him done that? Basically jump the snap, get into the backfield, and sack the quarterback. Dalton was sacked 6 times on the day. Look at this again, just times his splits perfectly. That's why he's Troy Polamalu, and he is fired up, and you are not. Well, you're fired up if you're a Steelers fan, not if you're a Bengals fan. Fourth quarter, same drive, 3 plays later, 1st and 10 on the Steelers 42. Dalton looking for A.J. Green, completes it for 12 yards, but he fumbles. Ryan Clark picks it up. It's A.J. Green's first lost fumble of his career. Watch it again. Cortez Allen knocks it loose. Steelers, though, would go 3 and out on the ensuing possession. A huge stand-up play by the Cincinnati Bengals. So the next Bengals possession. Dalton looking for Ryan Whalen. Batted by Josh Victorian, intercepted by Cortez Allen. He comes down with it. Watch it again. They're all still technically in bounds, even though they're up in the air. Allen makes the play, keeps it in bounds somehow. Steelers, though, go 3 and out again. Next Bengals possession, 3rd and 11, Dalton. Deep for A.J. Green, but it is incomplete. 4th down upcoming. 4th and 11, watch again, pressure from Polamalu. Forces Dalton to throw the ball quicker than he wanted to. Next play, Josh Brown from 56 yards, and it's just not enough. Would have been the longest field goal in Heinz Field history. Next Steelers possession, same score, 2nd and 6. Rashard Mendenhall, who actually played okay, runs for a loss of 2, tackled by Chris Crocker. Injury on the play, it's Heath Miller. Watch it again. Miller's right knee takes that shot from Crocker. Miller had to be helped off the field. He would not return to the game for the Steelers. 2 plays later, it's 4th and 4, $1:51 to play. Sean Swisham from 53 yards. It's up, and it's just not good. Game is still tied at 10. Now after a Bengals 3 and out, Steelers ball. This could be Steelers magic. Roethlisberger looking for Mike Wallace instead. Overthrows him. Reggie Nelson picks it off. Returns at 10 yards to the Steelers' 46. They're across midfield with less than 15 seconds left to play. Dalton looking deep for A.J. Green. This is the Bengals sniffing a playoff spot. Gets 21 yards out of bounds. 10 for $116 for A.J. Green. Next play, 8 seconds left. Josh Brown from 43 yards away. This is going to send the Bengals to the playoffs if he makes it. Right down the middle. Andy Dalton, the Bengals headed to the postseason. The Steelers have been eliminated. 13-10 is your final. Ravens and the Bengals. Sunday, a day of rest for the Raven Stars. Joe Flacco started, but just played the first 2 series, 4 out of 8 for 34 yards. Ray Lewis activated off IR, but did not play. Ray Rice only playing in the first drive of the game. First quarter, Ravens opening drive, 2nd and 10, Flacco. Vontae Leach for a gain of 2. Leach is down on the play. He would leave the game and not return. Ravens ball 2 possessions later, no score. 1st and 10 in their own 41-yard line. Tyrod Taylor scrambles left, and here he goes. 28 yards down the sideline, cuts back into the middle of the field. First down at the Bengals' 31-yard line. 4 plays later, it's 1st and goal from the 2. Anthony Allen, he goes in for the 2-yard touchdown. Ravens take the early 7-0 lead without their starters on top. We go to the second quarter. Second quarter, Bengals ball trailing 7-zip, 3rd and 5 on the Ravens' 37. Andy Dalton hooking up with newcomer A.J. Green in his first NFL game. No, A.J. Green, of course, who's been great for the last 2 years. First down at the Ravens' 20. 2 plays later, 2nd and 1 in the Ravens' 11. Andy Dalton looking for Marvin Jones. Jones cuts into the end zone, 11 yards on the score. Bengals tie it up 7-7. The rookie out of Cal's first touchdown of the season. I just keep thinking of Marvin Jones out of Florida State. Fourth quarter, Ravens ball trailing 13-7. 2nd and goal, the Bengals won. Taylor scrambles left, takes it in. A 1-yard touchdown, though he ran about 55 on it. Ravens go up 14-13. Bengals ball now trailing 14-13. 1st and 10, their own 35. Bruce Gradkowski in at quarterback. And he hits Brandon Tate for 44 yards down to the 20-yard line. Drive would lead to a Josh Brown field goal. Bengals would take the 16-14 lead. Ravens get the ball back. Taylor's pass for Ed Dixon, picked off by Carlos Dunlap. return for a 14-yard touchdown. Bengals go on to win it by the final of 23-17.
Let's show you the highlights here. As you mentioned, TJ Yates last year, so that meant Matt Schaub's first ever playoff start. Andy Dalton, 2 years in the league, 2 playoff games. It's been 22 years since the Bengals have won a playoff game, though, and J.J. Watt wants to make it.
We saw this
23.
all afternoon, guys. I mean, that Bengals offensive line struggled the last month of the season. They gave up 19 sacks the last 4 weeks, and Dalton was under pressure all afternoon long.
Just one field goal in the first quarter between these two teams, 3-0 Houston when they get it down into the red zone again, and they 3rd and 8, and they throw for about 6 yards.
Yeah, they really struggled in the red zone, Scott, and kicking field goals. That's what kept the Bengals in this game.
Well, Bengals were hanging around here. An interception, or so it appeared, by Kareem Jackson after a couple of Shane Graham field goals put the Texans up 6-0. But take another look at it, Tom.
Yeah, that ball was never in control. Kareem Jackson never had control of it. Andy Dalton was inaccurate today, especially on the deep ball, as you'll see as these highlights continue to roll on.
-6 passing yards in
Not
the first
good.
half.
That's
Net
not good.
passing yard. No, not good at all.
Not very
But
good.
here's why they're hanging around, because the defense makes a play for Cincinnati.
That was the biggest play of the game, really, and that put the Bengals back in chance, but they couldn't capitalize on it, Tom. They couldn't really do anything.
Leon
Absolutely.
Hall intercepts Schaub and takes it back.
Yeah, Schaub was late to deliver that football, and Leon Hall, a veteran. We saw this a couple weeks ago. He did the same thing against the Pittsburgh Steelers, but that certainly gave the Bengals a little bit of life.
The Texans are completely outplaying Cincinnati, and yet the Bengals were up by a point. So calm down on the Houston sideline. Arian Foster, and what happened to Ray Maluga?
Hello. Where'd he go? Where'd who go?
Yeah, rough first half, rough game for Ray Maluga. But the offensive line and Foster had been doing it all year long, started getting it going here.
Yeah, the Texans offense made a living on the ground and through the air in the middle of the field.
That was down to the Bengals 24. Ooh, Andre Johnson, though, just can't come up with this Matt Schaub pass here. Schaub knows missed opportunity.
If the Texans are going to advance deep into the AFC postseason, plays like that have to be made.
So stop me if you heard this one before. Another Shane Graham field goal, and it was 9-7. But Houston had the lead, and their defense try and make some plays. Dalton scrambles, throws back across his body, and a nice knockdown right there by Brandon Harris.
And once again, the common theme was the pressure that was applied to Andy Dalton.
So they had to punt, and they do. And on the punt, you can see that's interference there, interfering with the man's right to catch the football. So a 15-yard penalty puts it into Cincinnati territory, and they take a shot to Andre Johnson. That's incomplete, but you saw a flag come in at the bottom of the screen. It was a route over the middle of the field that they get called for defensive holding. It extends the drive. Just hand it to Foster. He plows in, the leading touchdown scorer.
They score a touchdown.
Yeah, exactly. That was your one offensive touchdown in this entire football game. Andy Dalton, though, still within a couple of scores here. They take a shot and hit this one.
Yeah, this was basically the biggest play of the day for the Cincinnati Bengals. The cornerbacks for the Texans were jumping routes all day long, and Andy just didn't have time to throw the football.
Here was one of your closest calls of the day. Ruled an incomplete pass as Connor Barwin knocks the ball loose. What'd you think, Sean?
Well, it looked like at first it was going to be ruled a fumble, but when you see the arm coming through and the ball heading towards the line of scrimmage, usually indicates an incomplete pass.
It was a coach's challenge. They did not overturn the call. Cincinnati maintained possession there, and that just let J.J. Watt come in and do Dikembe Mutombo style right there. So Dalton gets it back, and then what happened here, Tom?
This was interesting because it just looked as if A.J. Green wasn't on the same page, and he stopped running. And obviously, again, Joseph is staring at the quarterback the whole time. Joseph ran a better route than A.J. Green.
Tom Waddle makes that catch.
Didn't even put his hands out there, A.J. Green, on that
Tom Waddle would have never gotten off the line of scrimmage.
Jonathan Joseph with the interception there. So fourth quarter we go. It's still a ball game at this point if Cincinnati can get it to one possession.
That's good hard running.
They run on 4th and 1 and get the first down there.
Give credit to that O-line right there because that's a tough defense to do that against.
So the drive is extended. Plenty of time on the clock. Take a shot and...
Man, that ball cannot hang like that. I mean, Andy Dalton had this trouble all day long. Great play by Jonathan Joseph. Once again, able to knock the football away, but that ball just can't stay in the air that long.
Jackson in on the play there as well. Ensuing Texans drive after the field goal made it a 6-point game. Schaub to DeVere Posey for 19 yards, but they called pass interference on the offense here, so the Texans would have to punt. Here you go. A touchdown can win the game with under 5 minutes left to go. 3rd and 11. They don't convert. They hadn't converted a third down all game long until you see the flag comes in. Pass interference, their first third down conversion.
Game is still alive. 1st and 10. They are into Houston territory here. Marvin Jones with a pickup on 15 yards from the slant pattern down to the 35-yard line. It's now 3rd and 11. Dalton deep as A.J. Green.
Here's the theme of the day. You saw the one deep completion between Andy Dalton and A.J. Green, but we've seen several, Sean, that they just couldn't hook up.
That was a touchdown.
Missed opportunities.
That was a touchdown, and they couldn't take the lead. So 4th and 11, and what are you doing throwing an 8-yard route on 4th and 11?
Not to A.J. Green. If you're going to throw the football on 4th and 11, this may be your last offensive play of the season. I'm taking my chances with A.J. Green behind the first down marker.
So they're trying to run the clock out, and they run play-action pass. A little bit of a dicey call right there, but Matt Schaub delivers. They get the first down. They would get another one by penalty a little bit later. And then it was a matter of a couple of kneel downs. And for the second straight year in the AFC wildcard round, the Houston Texans best the Cincinnati Bengals. This score, 19-13.